Well, this morning I'm actually feeling quite good. So I'm on Strawberry Lane here, which is in one of these neighborhood roads. And you can see the road is covered in snow, but it's actually not that bad to drive on. But then you turn onto, say, Ashinaway Road, and as you can see, the road is basically clear as day. Yeah, there's still a couple of snowy spots in some of the turning lanes and along the side here, but it's basically a brand new road. Like, it didn't even look like it snowed last night. So that's the big difference this morning compared to yesterday, is the fact that you have the main roads and the secondary roads, and here we are on Alumni Drive, another example of one of those secondary roads where it's clear as day. So that's going to be the big difference this morning as you're going out on your commute. These roads that are heavily driven on, Alumni Drive is a little bit iffier than Shinaway, but these roads that are heavily driven on are going to be a lot better condition than your neighborhood streets. So if you're going around your neighborhood, it's not so bad to drive on, at least in my expert opinion, but still you're going to want to take it low and slow, and even slow and slow on some of these main roads as well, because there are still a couple of slick spots. But right now, confidence pretty high. Send it back to you all in the studio. Well, I think the big difference from today compared to yesterday is the fact that because the snow did have a chance to melt yesterday, some of these main streets that did get a lot of treatment yesterday are not too bad. Currently, I'm on Woodland Avenue, right inside the middle of the University of Kentucky campus, as the campus does expect to be open once again today. Yesterday, they originally said they were going to do a 2-hour delay, and then they fully canceled not long after that. And looking at the roads right now, the roads don't look too bad on campus. Where the issue lies is going to be twofold. One, in the parking lots, as not many of the parking lots have been treated on campus, and then the sidewalks. Now, the good news is I have seen a couple of crews working to clear some of those sidewalks around campus. So if students who ride their bikes or walk, they will be able to get there. Now, what will also be interesting is students who live off campus, what resources will be available to them to make sure they get to campus safely. We'll try to get that answer for you later on today, but so far 2 for 2 in terms of the road conditions, looking not too shabby. Krista, Paul? Yeah, we're in the Pine Meadow neighborhood right by Picadome Golf Course, and you're right, these neighborhood roads are all pretty much the same from what I've experienced so far, is that they have not gotten the tender love and care that you would expect for some of the main roads in Lexington right now. But the big thing that I've noticed so far the big thing that I've noticed in these neighborhood roads is that because all the snow gets pushed off to the side from the main roads, that they create kind of like these speed bumps, if you will, on some of the neighborhood side streets. Like you just saw me kind of hit that bump there. So that's what that was. And then as we turn onto Mason Headley Road here, this is I would say a secondary street, maybe even a side street if you want to look at it. The road looks a little bit better. Now, if you are going out this morning and you're in one of these neighborhood areas, you're going to want to take a little bit extra caution when you're having to go uphill or downhill, because while the roads might not be super slick themselves, although this accumulation that's starting to fall here in Lexington is playing a little bit of a factor in changing the road conditions a little bit, the ability to stop and start on hills and uphill and downhill is definitely a challenge. So definitely want to take it a little bit extra carefully as you go around town. Krista, Paul?
All right, Tyler.
Well, it is a lot of the same for what we're seeing in Lexington, where the side streets and the neighborhood streets have not really gotten much attention, while the main streets have. I'm on Southland Drive, which is just off South Main Street, and as you can see, this neighborhood road, it's barely been touched, if at all. Now, fortunately, if you're going to be shoveling your driveway, shoveling your sidewalk, sweeping the snow off your car, shouldn't be too much of a problem unless there's a big gust of wind that blows it back, because of how light and fluffy this snow is. But as we move on to South Main Street here, let's stop nice and easy, because you don't want to be skidding out into the road. As we move on to South Main Street here, you can see it looks beautiful. Looks like it hasn't snowed at all. Shout out to the crews here in Woodford County for clearing out these roadways, but that's been the kind of theme that we've been seeing throughout the course of the morning. Even on my drive out to Versailles on Versailles Road from Lexington, I did see a couple of Lexington salt trucks putting down salt along Lexington roadways because of the potential for refreezing. So that is something to make a mind of as you make your way out this morning as well, that although a road may look clear, there is still a potential for black ice. Live in Woodford County, Tyler Melito, Fox 56 News. Yes, I certainly do, Paul. Thank you for mentioning that in case anyone at home is wondering if I'm driving like Evel Knievel or Dale Earnhardt. I know Daytona was last week. I don't even know if Dale Earnhardt Jr. was racing, but neither here nor there. We're on New Circle Road right now, and as you can see, it looks really, really good. Still want to be careful though for some possible black ice spots around the city on some of these main roads like New Circle, just because the potential for a refreeze is very possible with how low temperatures are. But I mean, traffic is moving a-okay on New Circle. It is a very big difference compared to what we've been seeing in some of the neighborhood streets. And on my way back from Versailles, where I was in the last half hour, I got the chance to speak to some people who work at a local gas station along Versailles Road, and they were telling me they were much happier with how the roads were today, this morning, compared to yesterday morning. And I think definitely having the sun out yesterday, the chance for some melting, as well as the work that crews have done, has made things a lot better this Thursday morning. So as you're driving around this Friday Eve, certainly be careful. Krista, Paul.
All right, Tyler.
I mean, the highways are looking good right now as we're crossing over from Fayette County into Scott County, but we're going to be looping back around on the I-64 East, and we'll hopefully have this for you at the top of our 8 o'clock hour, as there has been a crash on I-64 involving a salt truck. I just drove past it. The salt truck is on its side. Do not know if there are any injuries or things like that. We do have a call into Lexington Police to confirm that information, but there is a slight backup on I-64 East right now, so we'll be getting that to you at around 8 o'clock. Otherwise though, driving around the city of Lexington, things are still looking very good, like we've been saying all morning. The main roads, they have been well treated. They've gotten a lot of attention. A lot of the snow has melted, aside from a few turning lanes that I've noticed over the course of the last half hour or so. It's the neighborhood streets that really are in a need of some clearing. So we'll hopefully get some of that relief sooner rather than later. Obviously, the freezing cold temperatures do not help, so be extra careful as the possibility for black ice is high. Krista, Paul. Well, Paul and Krista, the details are still very limited at this time, but we do know that crews are actively working to clear this portion of I-64 East. As you can see behind me, the road is still moving. Traffic is still moving on one lane of I-64, and as we zoom in, you can see that plow truck on its side, or that salt truck rather, on its side, and they've just brought in a tow truck a moment ago to get it off the road. You can also see the skid marks there on the side of the hill, which is a solid 20 or so feet away from where the end of the road is. So the details are still very limited on what happened, how this crash happened. Hopefully everyone involved is okay. We have a call into Lexington Police to get more information, and hopefully we will have that for you both on air and online later on this morning. Live on the side of I-64 eastbound, Tyler Melito, Fox 56 News.
So what we were talking about just a moment ago, Tyler Melito is on the scene of a crash involving a salt truck on I-64 East. Tyler, for those just tuning in, get them up to speed.
Well, we just got some information from Lexington Police. This crash happened around 6:30 this morning involving a salt truck on I-64 East at around mile marker 72. And I'll give you a better look right here. As you can see, a tow truck is working to clear the road. If the shot gets in focus here, hang on, there you go, there it is. All right, I-64 East, mile marker 72. As you can see, the salt truck is getting cleared from the side of the road. The driver fortunately was able to exit the truck and had no other injuries, and no other cars were involved. One lane, as you can see, is also partially shut down. LexRex on Twitter is saying that they expect the road to be shut down for quite a while, so use extra caution. And that should go without saying that although no other vehicles were involved in this crash, still want to give these salt trucks some space and to operate and do what they need to do. You can see on the side of the hill there where the crash happened and the truck flipping over. A very dangerous scene. Fortunately, again, no one is hurt. We'll have more information as it is made available to us throughout the course of the day. For now though, live in Lexington, Tyler Melito, Fox 56 News. Well, right now I'm on Ohio Street, which is right by the Lyric Theater in Lexington. And as you can see, this is again what we've been talking about all morning. These neighborhood streets have so much snow accumulation. It's now getting to the point now where it's starting to get packed down a little bit. So it's gonna be a lot harder to remove with a simple snowplow. You're probably gonna have to wait until the sun comes out like it is today for it to melt. The issue is, though, with temperatures being as low as they are and road temperatures specifically being as low as they are, they're not going to melt super easily, and when they do, the potential for black ice continues to rise. And here we are approaching East 3rd Street here, and you see it is clear, but there is now all this slushy remnants on it, and if that refreezes, I would not be surprised if this road becomes really, really slick, as one example throughout the city. That's the one problem with how the things have been treated right now, is that while the main roads are clear and some of these secondary streets are clear, the potential for refreezing is super, super high. So be very careful today and also the rest of the week until we see the temperatures continue to rise this weekend, like Justin's been talking about all day today. But overall, though, roads today, I would say much better than what they were yesterday, Krista and Paul.